So Adam22 is taking a different approach to the situation. It seems like he has been taken aback by the desto, dubb, and aceboy situation. So apparently his perspective has changed, and it's actually quite refreshing to see him take some accountability and apologize for some of the things he said. Although he does have a valid point and valid argument in some situations, just seeing him take the higher road as the CEO of No Jumper and have or be empathetic to his employees, that's a pretty dope situation. So I'm eager to see what the Ace Boys and AD have to say in response to this. Let's get into it.
Before that, this is from March to late July.
So you didn't do nothing.
And this is from the Adam and Whack podcast, which is doing extremely successful for the No Jumper show. Whack 100 and Adam22 is definitely an interesting dynamic. Definitely enjoyable, entertaining.
I think you didn't say nothing.
I can't say that I didn't say anything, but I was definitely in de-escalation mode, trying to have everybody get along. Wasn't really going that well because they were clickbaiting the fuck out of everything with me, etc. So then I do this Bootleg Kev interview, and he asked me, basically the thing that ended up heating everything up, he goes, don't you think the AD's making more money now? I said no. I said a few other things that he probably didn't appreciate, but there was this whole little storm around that time period where you had Snoopy talking about him, you had G-Face who actually said some stuff on the podcast about AD, and then you had me going on Bootleg Kev. This somehow quickly spirals into me basically debuting the Big 22 personality, which has kind of been retired. We replaced it with a 22 star, but this was basically, that's where things kind of changed. I'm pointing out like late July, August, that sort of shit, where I basically decided if these guys are going to keep talking about me and making me a central focus in their content, then I was going to go on the offense and I was going to start making videos on my iPhone while I was in the gym in my garage talking shit and basically just throwing mud back at them. Basically saying, if you guys are going to diss me, yes, I get it. You guys are super street. I'm not, but I'm not going to just roll over and take this. I basically just like decided I was going to start arguing back and forth with them. So that was kind of like a very distinctive start.
It's dope to see him decipher between the fact that, all right, y'all were getting at me, I decided to stand up for myself. But later in the clip, he discusses how he was the one being bullied and then became the bully, right? And that's just an interesting perspective on life. Like, you know, you become what you hate, essentially. And that's interesting in terms of how he disliked the fact that he was being spoken about, talked about, and he didn't really say much on his end. You know, cuhmunity world, they had the upper hand, being that they had the momentum from the whole No Jumper platform as the platform was crashing. So he couldn't afford to say much while they were taking shots. But at some point he took the offensive and he felt like the job was done. But the commendable part is the fact that he realized at some point I became the instigator, agitator.
Of a new era, which I've designated at the bottom, me popping with them not responding, because you could tell that around that time. And this is when I initially made certain accusations about bankruptcy and other things that were quite controversial, I'm sure, probably not terribly well received. But this is when I kind of got the reaction from them that they were like, all right, we're not going to talk about him anymore. We're going to just focus on building our own company. We're going to do our own thing. This actually lasted a significant period of time because, as you can see, late November, mid-November, whatever that was, tensions flare after Ack provokes Trell. So this is basically where everything kind of took a different turn.
Ack provokes Trell.
Well, so they had Ack on an episode of cuhmunity world that they filmed while they were in New York, and they're still doing the thing of like not responding to me or whatever, but obviously that's not good enough for Ack. Ack's got to provoke the situation, which I don't.
You know, Ack is a master at this ish. He gonna get the information out of you one way or another.
Hold against him because he's a journalist and that's kind of his job. But that's where you get Trell basically going on this long ass rant about me to Ack, and then you have me responding while I'm at Disneyland yelling into my phone. This increases tensions significantly, and we enter into a new phase that we've been kind of doing since then, in which they've been talking about me, I've been talking back.
Gotcha.
Some fairly epic rants on both sides, to be totally fair. And then I think that this all kind of culminates with the Desto Dubb Sexy Red concert footage that came out the other day. Now,
awful lot of running.
If I could go back in time, I think that the moment that I kind of misplayed my hand in which
and this was actually pretty interesting, being able to pinpoint where you went wrong. It shows a sense of self-reflection, which, you know, Adam22 has been criticized for not having, you know.
Could have been a more mature person, broadcaster, former friend to them, etc. Is that once I got them to stop talking about me, I should have said, okay, you got what you wanted, just chill. You have no reason to keep provoking them and keep talking. That's not what I did. I kept just throwing on it. I can't even remember all the different.
That's a valid point. There was a point in time where they were getting at you, punching down as they left your platform, had all the momentum, taking shots at you. You didn't say anything. Was trying to rebuild. And then the tables turned and your the No Jumper platform was thriving, and it seems like they were going through a low phase, right? and the numbers were dwindling, and you took advantage of that as they did when they left you. And then at that point, it makes it mutual, like tit for tat, eye for an eye.
Instances in which I spoke about them in negative ways, kind of rubbing it in, etc. And I was going at it from the perspective of, okay, I feel like I can protect myself. I feel like I'm not terribly worried about what they're going to do to me because I'm moving around in a certain way where I'm not really worried about that. Then we come to this desto dubb situation. And to be honest, it was just like a really eye-opening thing for me in which I realized that, yeah, maybe I can take care of myself and move around in a certain way that prohibits me from, running into serious situations. But I also see the way that this is unfolding, and Dubb even being in that situation is something that I just really don't want to be responsible for. It's not that.
Yeah, just being that, Dubb has operated in the LA area for years now, right? And he seems to get along with all sides, doesn't necessarily, you never really see him into politics like that. And to see him in this type of situation, it's like, damn, because I root for Desto. Again, like I said in my other video, when I first moved to LA about 3 to 4 years ago, I would literally just pull up to the parking lot, and this is literally a month into moving, trying to, get a understanding of the areas and just trying to become an LAan, a Los Angeles. I can't do that. Anyways, but I would pull up to there and, he was always embracing. He was always, showing love, and the environment that was there was always welcoming. So to see him deal with something like this is like, but, it's kind of like what you sign up for. But being the fact that, Adam22 realizes like they probably didn't sign up for it, and let me try to, take this a different direction, it's commendable.
That I'm, and on top of that, it's just the conversations that I've been hearing behind the scenes about how this could escalate, both from them on stream, because obviously I'm not privy to their private conversations, but then hearing the private conversations going on amongst people on the No Jumper staff and everything, and it just doesn't really sit right with me. I feel like it's on me at this point that I have to go out of my way to intentionally try and de-escalate this situation and acknowledge that I was in the wrong. I should have, at the point in the map, I don't know if it's still on the screen, but after this whole Blue Lake thing, whatever, once they stopped talking about me, I should have just been man enough to say, okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay. Now, I'm not under the impression that these guys are just going to like instantaneously forgive me and everything's all good. I know that this is going to be an issue for a significant period of time, but I'm just saying that I've seen where this is going. I don't want to be the one who's responsible for it. I had to, sincerely apologize to Dubb and say I'm sorry for even putting you in that situation. Now, granted, he kind of also put himself in that situation.
How did he put himself in?
There was a few comments that have been brought to light that,
and that's what I was referring to in my reaction video to the whole incident at the Sexy Red concert. Was there things that Desto might have said that warranted that reaction? And y'all brought it to my attention that he might have said several things. So I don't watch everything. I got a family to feed. So, I work a lot and I stay up all night trying to work on videos and stuff. So I guess it was a situation where Adam22 was like, pull up on Melrose. I'm here with Brick Baby, Smith and Weston, and Desto got his security, and it was just around of that nature. So it wasn't directly, but I could understand how people who come from a certain ilk would find that distasteful.
Little things that he might have said on the podcast or whatever that might not have been the best idea for somebody in his position. Adam, but I am acknowledging my own responsibility.
I've never seen this Adam before. He's nervous. You do know
I'm not nervous.
Listen, you do know that I've been like spending a lot of time with my Hebrew Israelite brothers. Captain Kazariak, you met him?
Yeah.
And I've learned that since the beginning of time.
This nigga Wack is too entertaining.
White man,
the white man, no. The white man has always found a way to see the right and the wrong he was doing while he was doing it. And then when the fire came, they found a way to make their wrong right and act like it wasn't them. At the end of the day, Adam, me and you both know, you were saying a lot of shit while they kept saying on their side, leave it alone.
Were they saying that? I don't really think that's
Definitely
the case.
Was saying.
Yeah, but moral of the story is Adam apologized. Do y'all think that the aceboys, AD, cuhmunity world, what do y'all think their reaction's going to be? Do y'all think... me personally, I think that was a sincere apology. He showed a lot of enthusiasm and empathy, so it seems like it was coming from a good place. But what do y'all think the reaction is going to be in terms of how it will be received by the aceboys, AD, cuhmunity, and whatnot? Yeah, man. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. help me get to 10,000 subs. And let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And if you missed the whole Adam22, Trell, Heather, and everything, I made reaction videos to all of those, and they'll be clipped up right here, right there, and all that.